I met a girl when I was traveling, and I invited her to New York for 3 days. We did a 72-hour first date. I don't recommend it. It went poorly. Within 1 hour, she got her period out of boredom, I think. I'm not sure. There was a lull in the conversation and it started. I was a gentleman, though. I was like, we could lay a towel down, whatever you want. And we get on the subway. It's our first time ever in New York, first time ever on the subway. And immediately the most homeless person I've ever seen gets on the subway. Just the off-balance homeless people, you know what I'm talking about? Dude, I don't know why. Anytime I see an off-balance homeless guy, I wish I had a basketball so I could just cross him up. Do you get that? But he gets on the subway, and he sits directly across from her, looks her dead in the eyes. We've been on the train for 3 seconds. Looks her dead in the eyes, and just goes, "I'm gonna eat your pussy." That's the first thing he says. And she looks at me immediately, and in her eyes I could tell, she's like, "You should do something about this." And then I'm like, "I'm asparagus. I'm not doing anything about this." I'm like, if anything, you're on your period, let's tell him that. He'll go to somebody else. You got so much power. And he keeps saying it, and eventually he shuts up to take a joint out. Starts smoking a joint on the train. She's horrified. I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And we get a few more stops, and a very nice young Mexican kid goes over to the homeless guy. I think he's about to stand up for us, right? And he goes, "Hey, sir, can I hit that?" I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And so now they're smoking together on the subway. Homeless, non-homeless, beautiful moment. And we get a few more stops, and the Mexican kid looks at the homeless guy, and he goes, "You didn't tell me this was laced." Falls over, starts having a seizure. I know you're worried about this. Here's the thing. There's not an ending. Because I got right off the train when that happened. I didn't even think once about helping him, dude. I stepped over him on the way out, if we're being honest. I was like, this is how you become homeless, sir. All right? Here's $1. It's a starter pack for you. Use it. And then we're back at my place, and I'm trying to console her. I did a bad job. Basically what I said, I was like, I lived in New York my whole life, 34 years. That is #1 craziest thing I've ever seen by a mile. I was like, you got here today. You got that on the first try. You don't know how lucky you are. You got to see that. Stop crying. Why are you crying right now? I was like, if you wanted to save the Mexican kid, you should have let the homeless guy eat your pussy. This is kind of on you if you want to point fingers. And then we had 48 more hours in the day.